Right, hello everyone. Is that showing my camera? Because it looks like it's still showing yours then. Is it working?
It is showing yours.
Oh, it is showing mine. Hang on, have I just done something to that? Is it still showing mine? Sorry.
Yes, we do see your slides.
Oh, you can. Excellent. Cool. I think I clicked a box and I was like, oh, hell, it's gone somewhere. So hello, everyone. My name is Joanna Wolthuis, and today I am going to talk to you about front ends for SQL Server built in Access and Excel using VBA. Now, these are unbound tools, which means they are not constantly connected to the data source, which makes them highly scalable. So we haven't got much time to do much of an about me. So I'll just tell you really quickly that I have been working with SQL and VBA for the last 10 years. And whilst this is the 10th conference I've spoken at, this is the first one where I've got to speak about VBA. So it's not popular, and I don't know why. So I'm kind of hoping that this will pique a bit of interest, and if there are any conference organisers out there who want me to do a full session on VBA, then hit me up because I would absolutely love to. And I'll just tell you really quickly that I do contribute tutorials to a YouTube channel called Your Programming Network, and I do have a playlist on how to build these tools. So if you are interested in learning, then maybe do check that out. The link's just on the screen at the moment. So yeah, I absolutely love building these VBA tools. And when I was just starting out as a SQL developer, I worked on an MI team, and we had these like daily packs, showing the figures and things. And there was a few teams like on the sides who really wanted their figures to be included in our daily MI packs. But because their data wasn't in the data warehouse, we were like, oh, hell, like, how are we going to do this? And we'd come up with all these like mad solutions, like the users can type some figures into an Excel sheet and save the Excel sheet in a folder, and then we'll run an SSIS package to pick up the figures from the Excel sheet, and we'll put them in the database, and then it'll be in the pack. And if only I had known then that I could just create a really quick tool in Excel where the users can type the figures in themselves to be included in the packs, that would have been absolutely brilliant. So that's why I like these tools. So just to quickly show you exactly what I mean by front ends, I am going to show you them properly later, but just to give you a sight of exactly what I'm talking about when I do the pros and cons next. This is one which is built in Excel, and it looks like this. And here is an Access one that looks like this. And I'm going to show you them working properly later. So, like, why would we even use one of these? Because they are incredibly useful for like any reason where you may need to get data in and out of a database, pretty much. Like, personally, I can't think of any other solution where you can build something like as functional and as user-friendly using software that pretty much every business on the entire planet has got installed on their computers already, as this. So, I mean, if anybody can think of anything else that ticks as many boxes as this, yeah, let me know, because I would be really interested. And when I do demo the tools next, just try and bear in mind how much you think it would cost to get a consultancy firm like KPMG or something. There's nothing personal there, it's just the first big name I could think of, to come in and build something like this for a company, because I would bet it would cost many thousands, whereas building one of these dependent on the ask can be like days or a week, 2 weeks, depends how complicated it is, obviously. And obviously, aside from all of the incredibly useful use cases, it's very shiny. And when you've been spending a long time typing code into a white screen, like we do as SQL developers, it's so cool just to click a button and it puts data in your database and it does stuff. And it's like, oh, I'm still amazed by that. So about the cons, the only things I will really say here is that they're not bulletproof. The users could get into the code if they really tried. However, that would be classed as gross misconduct for any company I've ever worked at. And, you know, you kind of expect your staff to not try to hack the systems you give them to do their job. So I would class that as a non-issue personally. And secondly, like, yes, SQL injection could be a thing, but this can be mitigated with good coding practice. And it's also not a risk that's limited to VBA apps. So personally, like, I also think that that's a non-problem. And then quickly, just to discuss, the differences between the two. The access tools, I mean, they're both much of a muchness really, but the access versions, they're a lot more fancy. You've got more design options. They look prettier. And the Excel ones are much quicker to build, and they really shine when you are editing a finite number of rows. Finite number of fields on an indeterminate number of rows. What am I saying? Words. Yeah, I don't think you can really do that in Access. So Excel are particularly good for that point. Right, we are short of time already. So let's just do a very quick whistle-stop tour of what we can actually do with these tools. So this Excel one that I've just got here, we are just basically going to insert contacts into this table here. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to pick a contact type. You will see this later on in the Access version. And then we'll just type a note of, I don't know, send advertising to customer, nice and easy. And then I'm just going to put some customer IDs in here, and I'm going to pick one, number 2. I know that customer ID 2 doesn't exist, and that's just to show you that you can configure the outputs to return useful things. So if I run that here, it will tell me that some errors were encountered, and it will tell me that customer ID 2 didn't exist, but that it's done number 1 and number 7. So if I click over here into my table, we can see there that it's done number 1 and number 7. It's inserted those records. And again, when I show you the CRM Access version, you can see that record there in the front end. And then what I've also got in here is you can make like reports in Excel as well. So if I click a button here, it's going to pull all the data there, and I think I've got it set to where contact tag is email, I believe. And so here it's just going to spit out for us all the emails that we've sent. Now, I recognise in this example this is not particularly useful, but what I do like to do here is, dependent on the purpose of the tool, I would usually make this report like the things that need to be sent, and then you could just like copy this list of customer IDs, or, you know, paste it into there and off you pop. It's a bit more useful there than showing you what you've sent. But yeah, anyway, so the Access version, sorry if I'm speaking really fast, I've got like a minute and a bit left and I'm like, oh my god. This is what it looks like. And what we can do here is we can click onto like add customer, and we can add a new customer, funnily enough. If I've got time at the end, I'll show you that. Otherwise, I'm just going to show you the search functionality. I can search by a customer ID, or I can search by like letters of names and all sorts. It's got a dynamic SQL stored procedure behind this. But if I just click onto that, we can see here that it's loaded up all the details that we've got for this customer. And when I click into the contacts tab, we can see here that it has oh, no, I didn't put in number 7. Was it custom 7? I can't remember. Anyway, but the contacts that we add in the contact tool can appear there, or we can use the form here to add contact in. We've got a notes functionality here where we can add notes and I don't know, testing notes. Put that in there, and we'll see that appeared out, which is really cool. And then ignore the sirens. I am in Manchester. It's all kicking off apparently. And then also in here where we can add like appointments, we can, this is like based on a car wash kind of system. I can book an appointment here, and I'll just type booked, and that will appear there in our list. And if we want to edit them, we can just click the button, it will bring up the form. And yeah, you can edit things there. So I hope it's interesting to see the kind of things that these tools can do. If anybody has any questions or wants to talk about them or wants me to do a longer session at a conference on them, then do tweet me. And yeah, thank you very much for coming to my talk, and thanks for having me on here, Ben. It's great, thank you.